I was there with the intention of finding that bastard Bob and collecting the bounty on John Wesley.
Damn you! Send him to hell!
Nej men sluta. Ja. Carlos Juarez. Gunslinger här igen då. Pang på rödbetan bara. Shit vad fint.
I thought the Texas Rangers got hardened.
Yeah, that's what they want you to believe. It was cold in a witch's tit and a brass bra that night as I fought my way past his loyal compadres to the very same saloon we're sitting in today. Look around and imagine this place painted in blood. Hardin was waiting for me, and...
Ja.
Wait, I'm jumping the gun here. Let me back up and give you some background on this sumbitch. He deserves that much. Don't you think so, Ben? John Wesley Hardin was a killer. By the end, he confessed to taking the lives of 42 men. Fathers and husbands, brothers and sons, men with families who cared about them. Families who put up money in hopes of finding justice. He was a bona fide folk hero by then, and had amassed a gang of armed miscreants and other assorted thugs. He and his men set up camp outside of town, and I was hoping Bob was among them.
Shit, it's cold out here. I'm freezing my giblets off. Ain't right, we gotta stay out here keeping watch like this.
Ain't nobody stupid enough to go after Hardin anyway.
Better 3 hours early than a minute too late.
Damn it! Shoot that son of a bitch!
They didn't ask why I was there. They knew. As most of them were wanted as well. I had to spill a lot of blood to find out Hardin wasn't in that camp.
Alltså jag måste fan...
He was carousing in town with his closest friends. Hardin's boys apparently didn't want me to reach the Bull's Head. Some were hightailing it into town to inform their Hefe of my unwelcome presence. I wondered if Bob was among them.
Another law dog. Show him how to die.
But I'm better.
Kill him already.
Okej. Gick inte så bra där. Round 2.
Shoot that son of a bitch!
There he is.
Fan.
Dodge a damn bullet. God damn him. Yeah, you know you can't beat me.
Oh yes I can.
Ventilate that sucker!
Ja. Missar got another skill.
Brother, I'm gonna... Tell Hardin someone's coming for him! Stop that, son of a bitch! Gotcha! Let the boys know we got another law dog. That's right. Run!
Titta här då.
You just met your match!
Ja, den är redan plockad. Ja, det är så. Nice.
I wondered if Bob was among them. And I steeled myself for the fight ahead. For as good as I was, deep down I wondered if John Wesley wasn't just a little bit better. Before I could test my mettle against Hardin, however, I would first need to dispatch his cadre of hired killers. Most of these degenerates were beyond redemption, but John Wesley might have been a different story.
Det var inte jag alls med på.
I didn't learn until later that that night was in fact his birthday celebration.
Bro.
I think I already mentioned that I found Hardin in this very saloon. Suffice it to say, nobody there was happy to see me.
Shoot him!
In fact, I felt a certain hostility.
Shot, son of a bitch!
I was disappointed that neither Bob nor John Wesley were among the dead. But that was short-lived, as a moment later I was facing down the fastest gun in the West. I felt a bolt of adrenaline, or maybe that was fear. He was well known for his tricks, and I knew I'd need my own if I was ever to defeat him. No, wait! He didn't hit me then. I'm sure of it.
Okej. Men det går fan inte. Så fort jag
I
hör...
felt a bolt of adrenaline. Or maybe that was fear. He was well known for his tricks, and I knew I'd need my own if I was ever to defeat him.
Jag vet hur man gör nu.
Faster than grease lightning. But being inebriated as he was, he
know
didn't
how
count
to
his
do.
shots. And now, he was at my mercy.
I know how to do.
No, I sent him to prison. Years later, after he was free, some restless Avenger took his life. Shot him in the back in a saloon just like this one. Anybody up for another beer? Ben? Thank you, darling. Yeah, some say revenge is a dish best served cold.
So whatever happened to that Bob guy you were after?
Personally, I'd like to hear some of your other adventures. Like, I don't know, did you ever go toe-to-toe with a red man?
Yes, I did, Ben. I remember once I was after this renegade Apache, Grey Wolf. Strangely enough, revenge was also his primary motivation.
Vänta. Fipplar lite saker här.
He was put on Grey Wolf's head, and that's how I came to hunt him in the mountains. Mountains so high they tickled the nether regions of heaven.
Yeah, a long time ago.
Grey Wolf
Mountain
was a
far
Chiricahua
away.
Apache medicine man who had led a war party in revenge for a massacre against his people. The U.S. Army had attacked his tribe during his daughter's sacred sunrise ceremony, and the slaughter was unspeakable. I understood his anger, as there's nothing more traumatic than seeing those you love die in a cruel and painful death. Right from the beginning, I couldn't shake the feeling that Grey Wolf was watching my every move. He led a band of young Apache warriors who wanted retribution and were more than willing to die for him. They saw me before I saw them. And it crossed my mind that maybe this wasn't such a good idea. But now that the shooting had started, there was no backing down. It was rugged country, the winter home of the Chiricahuas, and that's why they had retreated there. I admit to having some regrets about going after them the way I did. But then again, I got a lot of those.
Did you find Grey Wolf?
Not at that moment,
Die.
but I did find the entrance to their hideout. A deep crevice that led to a deeper cave.
Don't tell me you went in there.
Yeah, but it's not out of bravery so much as pure, angry cussedness. See, back then, I had a stubborn streak a mile wide, and I wasn't about to back down.
So it was like pitch black in there?
Actually, it was pretty well lit. They had torches on the walls.
Luckily for me.
How big was his cave?
Big as hell, Ben. Chiricahua had hid out there during the Indian Wars.
Got to level up, bro.
They thought it was haunted with the ghosts of those murdered by the horse soldiers.
The cave was haunted with dead Indian ghosts?
To be honest, I was more concerned with the live ones than the dead ones.
Let's go. Boink. Alright. With the ammo.
How come you know so much about engines?
A few years back, I was married to two Mescalero women.
At the same time?
Yeah, they were sisters. Polygyny is traditional among the Mescalero.
So what happened?
Oh, I had to get out of there. Those girls never shut up. Both of them nagging at me all the time. Drove me half crazy. Haven't seen them since. I came upon this flooded grotto, and that's when I saw him. He came to me unarmed and unafraid. His voice echoed in the shadows, and I sensed he meant me no harm.
You carry great darkness in your heart, and if you do not release it, it will claim your soul.
The sound of his voice put some kind of ancient Indian spell on me. As his story unfolded in my mind,
You will come to this place again and kill many more men, and the darkness will grow until it consumes everything that you are. The soul would have no rainbow, and I have no tears.
he said I was a great warrior, a coyote man, unequaled by any other pale-faced warrior, or something like that.
The snakes will bite shadows of your past until a venom poisons your
Men.
heart, and an echo of the song of the dead summons the spirits deep from within the mountains.
I didn't quite get what he was saying, but there was definitely snakes. And indeed, his warriors surrounded me and attacked me like hungry wolverines. They couldn't stop me, though, and Grey Wolf wasn't in the mood for idle talk.
Nähä. Hur ska det här gå?
I swear I couldn't see any way out of this trap. But suddenly, one just appeared. Kind of like a miracle. I felt like I would be
Where is
lost in
my
that damn
weapons?
cave forever.
Tack.
Finally, I found myself back outside, perched on the edge of a precipice, overlooking a thundering whitewater river. To get where I was going required
Man.
several leaps of faith, but no way in hell I was turning back.
Ojar det.
I chased after him, determined to make him explain the meaning of all that mumbo-jumbo.
Mumbo-jumbo is right. Are you making this all up as you go?
A few details may be fuzzy, brother, but I am relating exactly what happened to me. There were dozens of Apache warriors aiming at me from on high.
Dozens.
Well, maybe not dozens, but there was a lot of them.
At least 3 or 4.
Well, more than that, little lady.
Men kan jag få sikta? Gör det ska. Och Bazooka!
I had a steep climb up creek ahead of me and scrambled up those rocks like a mountain goat. I was determined to locate Grey Wolf and find out exactly what the hell he was trying to tell me. And wouldn't you know it, that crafty son of a bitch led me right into a trap.
What kind of trap?
Well, son, there had to be at least 100 Apaches surrounding me.
100?
God be my witness.
Oh, come on. Who are you kidding?
Hey, I believe you. Come on, tell us how it ended.
All right, but I'm not gonna drag this out. Where were we?
You were surrounded by 100 Apache warriors.
Well, I didn't take the time to count them exactly, but there were a lot of them. And in the end, a path appeared before me that I had not seen before.
Alltså det här spelet.
I followed it as I desperately needed to find out what Grey Wolf was trying to tell me. But it was like that son of a bitch disappeared into thin air. Never did find him. And never did collect my goddamn bounty. Thank you, darling. It's interesting how the truth can sometimes seem, might malleable, depending upon your point of view.
Like how those dime novels make you out to be something you're not?
Jack, don't be starting trouble.
No, he's right. They do tend to exaggerate.
Did they exaggerate your part in taking down the Daltons?
Well, I was there in the flesh, boy, so I saw what happened firsthand. Those Daltons were lawmen once, before they all went bad, robbing banks and trains clear across the territory. Until Coffeeville, of course. I was one of the citizens who took up arms that day.
Fighting on the side of right?
I did my best, sir. We all did. It was early morning. One of my friends was a local gunsmith, and he handed out firearms to anybody who'd take one. You see, the Daltons got it in their heads to rob two banks at the same time. Two banks on the same damn street. Story was Bob Dalton's girl was always riding him about how he had no ambition. Oh, you're nobody next to Jesse James, she said. Finally, the bastard took his brothers to Coffeeville just to shut her up.
Right. It's always the woman's fault.
Well, the locals recognized the Daltons right off. Before they could get away, half the town took up arms to defend their property. The brothers paid dearly for their stupidity, but everybody knows they had it coming.
There's more to it than that. I read all about that day, so I know for a fact that it went down very differently. First of all, it was high noon. A posse of U.S. deputy marshals were on the rooftop across the street.
Get ready, boys. They're gonna make a move.
The lawmen had been tracking the Daltons for months, and now they finally had them dead to rights. Among them was a bounty hunter feared by many a lawbreaker. The marshals tried to get the Daltons to surrender.
They'll give up eventually. We just gotta wait till some bitches out.
This bounty hunter knew that the brothers were far too proud to ever lay down their guns. So he went in there alone to confront those criminals.
What? Wait, what?
Those boys had a reputation as stone-cold killers, so the marshals took every precaution, knowing they wouldn't go easy. This man had no intention of letting the Daltons slip away. They met an adversary that day who had no fear and offered them no quarter.
Damn you!
He went in there alone to confront those criminals. One of the
Thank
marshals
you.
shouted, "Where are you going? Are you crazy?"
Hey, where do you think you're going, dumbass? That rifle's mine.
But he paid him no mind. He saw a way to get around to the back of the bank. Then he figured out how to hit the Daltons from a direction they weren't expecting. A moment later, he was climbing up a steep ladder, laughing at danger as he did. It was brave men like him who risked their lives to tame this wild country.
We've got company.
Heroic men like him, who did what other men couldn't or wouldn't to make this country free. Like Jim Bowie.
Is that
Davy
Silas
Crockett,
Greaves?
who died
Son of a
defending the island.
bitch!
That's right. Run!
Ur vägen pojkar.
Brother, I'm gonna make you pay for that.
Over there!
Hoppla.
That's Silas Greaves. What the hell?
Blam! Blam! He came away victorious, taking down those thieving Daltons.
Okay, now you're really pissed.
His name was Silas Greaves, and when the dust finally settled, he was the last man standing.
Sorry, kid, but that just wasn't the way it happened. It was early evening, not high noon.
Ah,
I was late to the party and Coffeeville was already up in arms. The Daltons blew up a safe and were all set to hightail it out of there. Those pathetic deputies surrounding the bank were dropping like flies. I had been tracking those jokers for months, waiting for them to do something reckless. And finally, they did. Those stupid bastards decided to rob 2 banks at the same time in the same town where everybody knew them. But they still had friends in coffee.
Now you're in trouble. Oh, now. Waste your bullets. Go ahead. Shit. What are you gonna do? Ease you around corners. Shoot, I hear you. Damn! Ah!
Han är vol 3.
We got us a eagle. What's the holes in them?
Those friends came after me like a pack of wild dogs, tooth and nail. They were coming at me from all directions. I caught sight of the Daltons running with the money and didn't want to lose them. Problem was, they knew the town better than I did. To top it off, I found myself in the middle of another shootout entirely.
Did the Daltons hole up in somebody's house?
Shoot him
No,
down!
it was the
Alltså, ja,
Smiths,
alltså.
I believe.
Det här är för fan Borderlands.
And they were shooting at the Browns, who were shooting at the Daltons. Which wasn't any surprise, since those 2 families have been feuding forever.
Nej. Det gick bajs.
Shoot him down! They ain't getting away with this! Come on, we gotta get out of here! I think they know who we are! Hey, stupid, how damn was this?
And since the Joneses are related to the Browns, they shot at the Smiths, pissing off the Heimhoffers, whose daughter recently married a Smith. Well, bullets were flying every which way as all the old feuds in Kansas caught fire all at once. There was a hell of a lot of pissed off people in Coffeyville that day. But that's just the way life is sometimes. Shit happens.
Jävlar.
Dalton boys knew I would never give up. Those Daltons weren't the sharpest knives in the drawer, but they always stood together. They set a trap to slow me down and allow at least 2 of them to escape. The 3rd brother stayed behind to plant me, just in case that trap of theirs didn't work.
Vänta, va? Okej, så där gjorde man.
It was Emmett, the youngest, and he decided to stand his ground and face me down.
I ain't afraid of you, Silas Reeves. This is where it ends for you.
He was determined to protect his brothers. I understood how he felt. Taking me on all by his lonesome wasn't exactly a recipe for a long life.
But Emmett Dalton survived the robbery in Coffeyville. He's the only Dalton who did.
They say he was shot 23 times.
Well, Dwight, who do you think put all those damn holes in him?
Me?
But I have to admit, that boy had grit.
get those suckers!
It took me a couple of days to track the Daltons down.
They can't get away with this!
And in that time, a whole posse of local vigilantes offered to lend a hand.
Ja, lite lugnt nu då. Men det här kör
They
vi
seemed as determined as me to find those outlaws. But as we
nästa
headed
avsnitt.
into those swamps, it was like I had my own private army. There was no way those boys were getting away this time.
Vi kör vidare i nästa avsnitt. Ja. Hejdå!